Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and this is basically words of advice that people are going being gang stalked around their community, basically, or in their life. So this disease, right? Think about what the word disease, Disease. I know my spelling, some words are terrible, but I know that word. So where do these words come from, right? Think about how does your brain function? Where does the positivity of knowledge come from? It comes from Jesus Christ, right? And more, where do your negative thoughts come from? It comes from God. God is the devil. We are being told, and I trust me, I was a big God believer, right? Until God tricked me to being stalked in California and I seeing evil shit. These people were so evil that they will follow you, crash your car, break in your house. I remember a good friend of mine, I was staying at my friend's house. They stole his television. They stole his other friend's car because he had another part of the house and another friend was staying there at the time. They stole his car and crashed it. I remember all these things that a lot of things I try to like brush off, like forget purposely or just try to like stay positive in this negative world. So I'm telling you now that it's hard to believe a one human, right? I'm still human, I'm still alive of Jesus Christ, right? So everywhere you're gonna go, you're gonna see God, right? And God, this God. These words come from somewhere, right? But who is God? You gotta ask yourself these things. Why we don't see when the life of Jesus Christ, right? We don't see. We have books on it, but is it accurate? No. They're missing stuff about Jesus Christ when he resurrected. What did the kings do during the time and all these emperors during the times even before Jesus Christ or after? So I'm not here to put words in Jesus Christ's mouth or he basically the knowledge I got from death and near death experiences is saying that what you're battling is you can't see these things. You can't see them. This dude is everywhere, and every item you touch, the air you breathe, the food you eat, the money you make. And jumping off topic here is like, why do you think we go to work, right? Work is progressing in life. But if you ask a normal average human, do you want to go to work, bro? I'm like, myself, dog, I don't mind going to work, but it's being forced to go to work to make money because you're paying an invisible person, because you pay rent, food, gases, all the expenses, and you're thinking that you're like have control over your life. You basically don't, because this system now it is working, but it's also against you. You get it? That's why I said I'm not here to rant off about going through this stuff, because I'm being stalked and I'm also being stalked to go broke, homeless, and which I'm battling to this day. That's why I'm trying to say the odd part about being stalked for your life. You may not, people don't believe this shit for nothing, though. Try to talk to the average person, they don't think this shit exists. But we have a witch doctor not far from here, and that shit's believable because it's a fucking store, right? It's a store, it's a location where a spiritual advisor with the tarot cards, people believe in that shit. But being stalked for your life is not believable. People don't do this shit. I'm like, oh really? Okay, so why does that dude have a business being a spiritual advisor, which also is the devil, which is, God, fooling people to believe and to also to trick them to do favors and stuff like that. That's the irony about what your life story is about. So I'm here to give you advice that you're battling God. God is the devil. You'll see when you're dead, no longer breathing, and Jesus will tell you this, as he told me when I was in the hospital and they were attacking the air. I remember that. They were putting bleach in the air. They were putting mad liquid and I couldn't breathe and I had to break the window down. I escaped I was in the fourth floor. So I was in New Hampshire hospital. I remember that. So when I was in the hospital, I ran down the stairs, like 4 stairs. It's okay, y'all. I don't mind the location because I want you to believe me on this part. the time I was there, they told me I was supposed to be 3 days and it turned to 30 days. So imagine going through all this stuff and praying all the time, and you'll see the craziest shit in the world, dog. The craziest shit, like shadows, a bunch of stuff. These people's eyes were red, and my air was taken away from me. And I would tell them I can't fucking breathe, so I'll try to swing at them. I'll try to get the fuck out of it. These people are trying to kill me. And this motherfucker won't die. And they will say that shit right in front of your fucking face. Or when you're sleeping, they check on the door. They will fucking do a ton of shit. And these people will be like, if you don't eat food, you're not fucking leaving here. You didn't fucking eat food for fucking 12 plus days. We're gonna send you to a worse hospital. And now I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking crazy. These people are fucking like off with it. But I would like, yo, this shit is like hitting home. So it hits my heart that I suffered so badly. And you're like, yo, this shit is crazy, yo. Like, if I don't follow these stupid ass rules, I can never get the fuck out of it. And they'll really, really, like, they won't leave me alone. Like, for real. And then when I will wake up with no air in my lungs, I will wake up and praying to Jesus Christ. And then I will hop up and I wake up in a bed like nothing happened. The irony of this, I'm like, why the fuck am I not dead? I can't breathe. I can't breathe in this motherfucker. And I will feel something so in your body, like, yo, shit, that shit is crazy. But I'm telling you now, that was Jesus Christ battling Satan, which is also the devil, and God. And then I'm grateful to say this, that Jesus got your back. So if I jump topics now, this really happened to me. This really happened to me. Like the whole New Hampshire part, like when I was at right in the wood area, these fucking cops were everywhere with the ambulance because I kept collapsing because the heat and then the cold weather just kept coming at me harder. And the air that I was walking by was coming thinner and thinner and thinner. So when they said, when I went to the hospital, and you know what, let me make sure I'm okay. They say you're dehydrated. You are, dehydrated. Something's wrong with you. And I was like, you know what? Let me make sure I'm okay. And not knowing like a fool, but at the same time, going through all this brand new stuff and knowing like you got done dirty. In the hospital, it was worse because I remember being outside and these people were filming me collapsing. I just kept collapsing because I couldn't breathe. I had no food in days and I was still walking on some possession shit. This shit was the craziest moments of life. And then when I got into the hospital, the psychiatric part, I remembered part because I was in the fourth floor and I didn't know that part until like I got out, that they were keeping you on the suicidal watch because they think you were harming yourself. But to be inside a hospital with the air taken away from your lungs, that shit was, I couldn't get it out of there. And then when I escaped to the fourth floor, there were like 10 security guards and they were jumping on top of me, and this guy would just elbow the shit out of me in the back, and they did to ransack me, and I hit a nurse with my hand. I was so weak, and then I was trying to get out of it, and they just threw me back up. They grabbed me and they put me in a room and they put medication in. But remember that. And then the air became so thin that I collapsed and I woke up and I thought I was dead. I thought, like, holy fuck, this really happened. This is really going on. This is what they do. This is what this motherfucker does. This dude's invisible. This invisible shadow motherfucker is possessing other people to kill you. That shit is the scariest thing in the world. So when I thought I was dead in that room, which is like it's crazy because I remember there's two doors. It was one door and then a second door, and I told them I can't breathe, and they just kept looking at me oddly with their evil ass face. All these nurses that they didn't give a rat's ass about. I can't breathe, so I would have to cover my face up, and I would be like praying to Jesus Christ. I would just be praying every day, and and a blessing came, as miracle, that I found myself in another fucking room. Like woke up like a dead, like a resurrection type shit. It was just so crazy, and this is really happening. So I will tell you this shit because there's a story I have to share with people because you may think that Jesus Christ doesn't have your back,